We could break another record high today, but relief is on the way. I'm tracking a cold front that will drop our temperatures, but bring rain for your holiday weekend.
Healthcare takeover. Today, WakeMed is giving you a chance to share your thoughts about its deal with Atrium Health. The questions that remain about this $2 billion deal.
Making adjustments today, Wake school leaders are rethinking the district's finances. Why teacher raises and higher diesel costs could pose a problem for next year's budget.
We have those and other stories as you're waking up on this Tuesday morning with a pretty beautiful sunrise behind us here, an overlook over Raleigh. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. A beautiful start, but once again, going to be another hot afternoon. We're going to make it 3-4-3 with highs in the 90s. Elizabeth Gardner with a look at what we can expect.
We're going to be back into the mid-90s most likely this afternoon, and that means that we could end up breaking another record. We broke the record yesterday. So heat's really our biggest story, but this morning we've had some fog start to develop in some of our southern counties like Clinton. This is a look from Alfredo's restaurant, and you can see foggy conditions here. Our temperatures are in the upper 60s to low 70s across the area, and it's really just the southern counties, anywhere from around Goldsboro to Smithfield down toward Fayetteville and Clinton, that you'll run into some patchy fog this morning. Visibility-wise, we're really just looking at Clinton at half a mile, and you can see that kind of stretching over into the southern part of Wayne County. Everybody else is looking nice and clear this morning. So if you're in the south, watch out for some of that patchy fog. It's 64 in Roxborough, 66 in Fayetteville, 67 in Rocky Mountain. So it's another warm start. And by lunchtime, we're hitting 90 degrees. So anything you need to do outside, do it before lunchtime, because this afternoon it's just unseasonably hot and most likely going to be a record high. Then by Thursday, we have a cold front come through. So it's just today and tomorrow with that intense heat. We'll talk about how much rain we could see from this front through the weekend coming up. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, the 6:01. Let's start outside and give our viewers a chance to see what's going on outside at I-40 and Wade Avenue. You can see these headlights coming toward us. Those are the folks heading into the Raleigh-Wade County area. And you can see traffic is flowing at a nice steady clip in all directions. We got reports of first responders working a crash on Timber Drive and White Oak, right near the shopping centers. Right now, I'm not picking up any delays, but should that change, I'll be sure to let you know. But really, Julie, all our major routes delay-free right now heading into the Raleigh-Wade County area. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Starting today, WakeMed wants to hear from you about its deal with Atrium Health.
Well, and this is why it's holding a series of these community forums across Wake County after county commissioners voted to delay their decision on the acquisition this month.
WRAL's Ali Calabar joins us live from WakeMed. Ali, these listening sessions will allow people to ask questions about this.
Renee, people will have 6 opportunities over the next 2 weeks to ask WakeMed leaders and board members about its deal with Atrium Health and how it affects them. There will be 5 in-person sessions and 1 virtual session. WakeMed leaders will start with a presentation of what the takeover would look like. Then people can ask questions. Earlier this month, Atrium Health proposed plans to take control of WakeMed. A few days later, Wake County commissioners decided to put a 90-day hold on a decision. They wanted the community's input. Wake County Commissioner Don Mile says these forums could help them make a decision on the deal.
The rationale there is to have community engagement and give everybody the opportunity to get their concerns addressed. What we'll be looking at in terms of what comes out of this process, and then that will help us make a determination how we move forward.
Now, that first listening session is tonight at 6 o'clock. It's at the Andrews Conference Center here at the Raleigh WakeMed campus. You can find more of those dates on WRAL.com. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
Just a heads up today, there is a move to put a cap on your state income tax rate that's moving forward. The state Senate and House are expected to vote today to put a constitutional amendment on the November ballot. Basically, it would cap the income tax rate at 3.5%, and this would set a hard ceiling on what comes out of your paycheck. Supporters of the Republican-sponsored bill say that it protects taxpayers and it keeps the state competitive for jobs and growth. But opponents warn that it could put pressure on funding for schools and roads and public safety. And the Senate vote is expected this morning, with the House possibly taking it up this afternoon.
The cost of transportation and teacher pay at your child's school could get more expensive next school year. Today, district leaders in Wake County are rethinking the school system's financial outlook. WRL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the district's headquarters in Cary. Kelsey, increased costs are adding up to be more than what the district budgeted for.
Yes, Renee, two major factors really play into this conversation that's going to be happening here at the board headquarters later today. Teacher raises and higher diesel prices. The rising cost of diesel fuel makes it more expensive to fuel buses. WRAL Education Insider Emily Walkenhorst says the district isn't experiencing the full effect of those higher prices yet, but this could become more of a financial burden next school year. Last week, state lawmakers proposed an average 8% raise for teachers. Most teacher salaries are covered by the state and some are covered by the district.
Anytime the state votes to increase teacher pay, then the school district also raises the pay of those teachers that they're funding locally.
The district only budgeted for a 3% raise, so this 8% pay bump could pose some problems next school year. County leaders are also weighing in on school board members' budget proposal. School leaders are scheduled to meet today at 2 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
The Wake County School Board will also consider 3 new ideas to honor the history of Ligon Magnet Middle School. The board is set to hear the ideas from the district's legacy committee for the school. They include a ceremonial lobby and a courtyard. They would also have historical themes that could include photos, murals, and relics. No decisions will be made just yet. The committee plans to hold at least 3 more meetings.
Well, people in Cumberland County are voicing their concerns about the possibility of data centers coming to that area. Commissioners listened to people's thoughts at a public hearing last night, and Cumberland County is actually among a growing list of communities in our area that's trying to decide on future plans for data centers. Well, some of the concerns from residents included pollution and energy costs as a result of data centers.
The problem with AI companies routinely pay well above market value for large parcels of land. When that happens, residential developers, especially those focused on affordable housing, get priced out.
I look forward to continuing to work towards coming up with reasonable, safe regulations that this community can accept. So as industry looks to come here, we get the best industry partners we can, not bad actors.
And commissioners plan to take everything they heard last night into consideration when coming up with a data center plan. But it's still unclear on when the plan to vote on a possible moratorium will happen.
A family is out of the home after a fire in Chapel Hill. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was at the scene on Irwin Road yesterday afternoon. 2 adults and 6 children will have to find another place to stay. No one was hurt. The Red Cross is helping the family. No word on what caused the fire.
Meanwhile, over in Johnston County, a man is due in court today after police say he killed his mom. That happened yesterday morning at Heritage Court Apartments on East Main Street. Police say that 65-year-old Robbie Sanders was stabbed multiple times and died at that scene. Her son, 43-year-old Michael Sanders, is charged with first-degree murder.
A father has been charged with murder in the death of his 5-month-old daughter in Granville County. John Wheeler is charged with second-degree murder and child abuse. Granville County deputies found Kylie Wheeler unresponsive at a home on May 10th. She died Saturday. Investigators say the baby had injuries consistent with child abuse. John Wheeler is due in court May 28th.
President Donald Trump says that he is holding off on restarting military operations in Iran. And the president made that announcement just a day after warning Iran to move fast or, quote, there won't be anything left of them, end quote. In a Truth Social post yesterday, the president said he initially planned to attack Iran today, but is holding off after speaking with other Arab nations. He went on to say that serious negotiations are happening and peace talks between the U.S. and Iran have stalled in recent weeks. And that's because the Trump administration is pushing for an end to Iran's nuclear capabilities. President Trump says the U.S. will move forward with its planned attack if a deal is not reached.
The matchup for the Eastern Conference Final is now set. The Carolina Hurricanes will play the Montreal Canadiens for a place in the Stanley Cup Final. The Canadiens eliminated the Buffalo Sabres last night with a 3-2 overtime win in Game 7 of their series. Now Montreal will travel to Raleigh for Game 1 of the conference final. That will be Thursday night at 8. The Canes will also host Game 2 on Saturday night. 6:09 on your Tuesday morning. Disqualified. A high school runner in North Carolina missed out on a state championship after a hand gesture as he crossed the finish line. Reaction from his coach and where his case goes next.
Plus, changing liquor laws. State lawmakers are considering a new proposal today. How this could affect the sale of alcohol at grocery stores in our area.
And heading out the door this morning, everything is pretty comfortable. Temperatures are in the upper 60s, but by lunchtime, it's already nearly 90 degrees and will likely break another record high this afternoon. And it'll be hot through the evening. I'll let you know when we have some relief from the heat coming up.
And check out these winning Powerball numbers: 4, 13, 34, 61, and 65. The Powerball is 12. The multiplier is 2.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
612, take a look at Clinton. We have some fog that's developed there, and we're seeing that mainly in our southern counties. Right now, as you're heading out the door, temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s, so it feels comfortable. 66 in Fayetteville, 64 in Roanoke Rapids, 67 right now in Rocky Mount. We have some areas of fog from Smithfield, Lillington, and Goldsboro southward. The only camera that is showing, at least that we have, is down in Clinton, and it's half-mile visibility, but we're showing up at half-mile visibility in Goldsboro, so you want to watch out, at least in those places. If you're getting out for exercise, make sure you're doing it early. We're going to climb up into the mid-90s this afternoon, and we don't get out of the 90s until around 7 o'clock this evening. So when you're planning your workout, you're good to go up until lunchtime. Midday is a little iffy. I would hold off this afternoon as we're in the mid-90s, and then this evening, if you can wait long enough, it'll start to feel a little better. Relief from the heat is coming. I'll show you when. Ken?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to lose the tie when I pick up the children from the playground today. My goodness. Hey, let's go outside, give you a live look at that northern loop of the Beltline, give you a live look at I-40 and Ridge Road. Traffic is flowing at a nice, steady clip in this particular section, so let's widen out the view, give you a look at the entire loop. Look, no delays to report whatsoever. We do have first responders working a crash on White Oak and Timber Drive there in Garner. We're not picking up any delays in the area for right now, but if that changes, I'll let you know. Get into your car, tune us in on the radio. 101.5 HD3.
Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center this morning. Residents in some areas of Southern California were ordered to evacuate after this wildfire broke out yesterday. You can see some of the response from this video here, but the fast-moving blaze here prompted officials to order evacuations for tens of thousands of people in Simi Valley and surrounding communities. Thousands more were under evacuation warnings. This is driven by strong winds. The morning brush fire spread pretty quickly, they say, sending up thick smoke amid large flames. The fire burned at least one home and one other structure yesterday, with thousands more under threat. Officials said roughly 500 firefighters were battling this blaze. Now, according to the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, the Sandy Fire, which is what they're calling it, had burned more than 1,300 acres as of late last night, and the agency said that the blaze was at 0% contained.
Goodness, it seems like California just can't catch a break. All right, thank you, Laura. Well, this morning we are hearing more reaction to a high school sports disqualification that's drawn national criticism. This is Nian Brown, and he's a runner for Mallard Creek High School in the Charlotte area. Well, he was disqualified from the state championship because of this hand gesture, this right here. And here's what his coach had to say.
I saw the official threw the flag up. I just, I couldn't believe it. I was in disbelief. The moment's gone. The celebration is gone. You can't get that back.
Now, you can see the incident in question right here in this video. You see that? Right at the end of the race, he holds up his hand. A referee ruled that celebratory gesture was enough to disqualify him. People at Jordan High School, though, which won the state championship after Brown's disqualification, they're kind of split on this.
It was totally unnecessary to disqualify him for that. I mean, it wasn't anything wrong with the gesture, it wasn't disrespectful.
I think if you break the rules, you suffer the consequences. There were some things that were established at the beginning.
Now, Brown did release a statement yesterday. He says that he is, quote, disappointed and that he hopes this can start a conversation around allowing young athletes to celebrate wins. Mallard Creek's coach is appealing this disqualification.
A New York judge ruled in favor of defense attorneys for Luigi Mangione, saying police illegally searched his backpack after his arrest in the shooting and killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Because of the ruling, items discovered during the initial search of Mangione's backpack at a Pennsylvania McDonald's will be excluded from the trial. However, the judge ruled items found at the police station are valid. That includes a 3D printed gun and a so-called manifesto. Mangione faces state and federal charges related to the killing. Mark Furman, one of the LAPD officers at the center of the O.J. Simpson murder trial, has died. Furman testified Furman testified during the trial that he found the bloody glove at Simpson's home. He was questioned about racial bias and was later convicted of lying. He retired from the LA Police Department in 1995. He died in Idaho at the age of 74. Pre-made cocktail drinks could be available to you at your local grocery store. Today, state lawmakers will consider changes to North Carolina's liquor laws that may allow them. A bill going before a legislative committee this morning would allow grocery stores to sell spirit-based drinks. They are currently only sold in ABC stores. Lawmakers discussed the idea last week. They are also expected to scrap a proposal to allow ABC stores to open on Sundays. Check the NC Capitol section of WRAL.com for the latest updates to this bill.
Wake County EMS is responding to more heat-related emergencies than usual for this time of year. That's according to call volume data since 2024. You see, the number of calls between March and May has increased since 2024. The year is on track to hit last year's numbers before the month is even over. It's the same for Orange County EMS. As a smaller department, they have had 4 heat-related 911 calls so far this year, and that's unusual.
People aren't prepared for it, so whether it's out mowing the lawn just because of you want to mow the grass earlier in the season or go for a run at the same time you normally would as in February, just it's a lot hotter than you think it's going to be.
Health and Human Services says last year 5,700 people across the state went to the hospital for a heat-related emergency.
People aren't prepared for it. They're not accustomed to it this early in the year, Elizabeth. And that's why we're trying to prepare you for what's going to be another hot day today, Elizabeth.
We broke the record yesterday. We'll probably break it today and maybe even again tomorrow. So just be ready for it. Look at this sunshine. I mean, it already looks hot right there in Roxford, doesn't it? We're looking at upper 60s across most of the region right now. It's that southwesterly wind that's pushing in that heat for us, and that will last all the way up until Thursday. So this is not like the middle of July where the 90s just go on and on and on with no end. We do have an end in sight. But we're looking at, again, record heat this afternoon, mostly mid and upper 90s across our area. We take a look at the big picture. This is the high pressure system, our Bermuda high, rotating clockwise. It's pushing all the heat from the south right up into North Carolina. And this is the front that's gradually going to arrive and bring us some relief. That front will stall over us. The reason that the front will move forward is because the Bermuda high will slip slightly east. It allows the front to move in, but the front's still going to stall over us because the Bermuda high is still sitting just offshore. So the location of the front will determine who sees most of the rain and the temperatures as well. So let's talk about Thursday. We'll likely see increasing clouds Thursday with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms potentially developing right along that front. Notice that it'll be widely scattered and not just an all-day kind of a rain for us. And then on Friday, this version of Futurecast there at 6 p.m. on Friday isn't showing a whole lot of coverage. We look at this version and it looks a little bit wetter for us. And then mostly this is going to be afternoon and evening. I know here at on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. we're seeing some showers, but most of this is going to be later in the day. But it's Sunday, Monday, maybe even into Tuesday before this pattern starts to break down. And that's good news and bad news. If you had plans for the Memorial Day weekend, it looks like it could be a little bit wet, but boy, do we need the rain. 60% on Thursday, Friday, and then 50% Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, where it's more likely to be afternoon and evening storms. Our potential for rainfall, at least on this model, is bumped up a little bit. So somewhere between maybe 1 inch and 2 inches across our area. And that is certainly much, much needed rain. But in the meantime, it's going to be very hot. And this morning, we have a little patchy fog that's developed, and I'll show you where. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're monitoring some heavy congestion right now on US 1 North coming in southern Wake County, just south of State Road 540. We're working to figure out exactly what's going on, and until we find that out, you might want to use old US Highway 1 as an alternate route if you're coming in from that southern Wake County area. But I'll keep an eye on it for you. But right now, we're experiencing relatively no delays in all of our major routes, short of a 1-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest at this hour.
Your time this Tuesday morning is 6:21. Closing their doors. Some school districts in our area have dealt with school closures in recent years. WRAL Investigates digs into what's causing these closures and the consolidations forcing students to attend new schools.
And new research. Health leaders in the Triangle are taking a closer look at the connection between autism and digestive issues in children, what researchers hope to learn, and how families can benefit.
Duke Health and UNC Health are launching a multi-million-dollar study to help children with autism who also struggle with gastrointestinal issues. Medicines such as Miralax, powdered substances, which are meant to be mixed with water, often don't work well for children with autism who are more sensitive to textures. And this new study is exploring whether another option, a capsule maybe, could be easier to take.
We're going to find out if linaclotide is better, and that by pediatricians and others prescribing that medication right up front, that we can actually reduce the amount of suffering that these children are having due to this problem.
Researchers say they plan to enroll 320 children from 30 sites across the country.
New TV shows to be on the lookout for on streaming.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Ken Smith to talk about it this morning on What's Trending.
Yes, so Chris and Renee, a magical new chapter in the way for the Ella Enchanted deadline is reporting the 2004 classic starring Anne Hathaway is being developed into a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, the story follows a young woman cursed at birth to obey every command she is given. Hathaway will be an executive producer for the series and an all-new cast.
Devils Wear Prada 2. She's in the Odyssey, if not mistaken, and then she's working on that.
Yeah, she has like 5 movies out this year.
Hear the money.
Yeah. So here's something else for your viewing pleasure. HBO Max releasing a new trailer for the DC series Lanterns. The show follows Green Lantern's Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart as they investigate a murder in the American heartland.
And the show will star Kyle Chandler, Aaron Pierre, and Kelly MacDonald. The show premieres on August 16th. And for you other fellow nerds out there, Sinestro will be in this one, so that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it very much so.
We've enjoyed hearing you nerd out on that.
Yes, I enjoy it very much.
Ken, thank you.
Well, your time right now is 6:26, and we're talking about a hospital takeover. Today is a chance for people to share their thoughts on a proposal for Atrium Health to take over Wake Med. How you can be involved in this conversation.
School funding. Leaders with Wake County schools are rethinking their budget for next year. How the proposed statewide pay raises and rising costs are affecting their decision making.
And it was a hot one yesterday. We're going to put that on repeat for today and tomorrow with near record heat. We could break that record high for today, but there is some relief on the way. I'll show you when.